All right, so one of my favorite new features in PowerPoint 2010 is the ability to organize my slides by sections. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. If you go up here to the Home tab, you'll notice that there's a new Sections feature here and with the drop-down menu, which allows me to add and then manipulate some of the sections. So let's go ahead and see how that works. I'm going to open up a new PowerPoint file. So I've got my PowerPoint file here, and let's say I want to organize my files by section. So this is a simple one. It only has 8 slides, but let's say I had 100 slides, and if I did that, I might not want to see all 100 slides at one time. So it's a nice way to group the slides. So let's go to slide 4, and we're just going to add a new section, and we're going to add a section by just going up to the section feature here and add section, and you'll see now it created this bar here, and it's not titled. So if I want to title it, all I have to do is right click on it and I can rename the section. And let's just call this the implementation. So that's our implementation section, and that's where I start talking about the implementation team and all this stuff. And what's really cool is now that I have them broken into sections, I can collapse that, and now I'm only going to see the slides I'm working on. The other thing is I can move whole sections. So one of the things that was always frustrating to me in the past is you've got 20 slides and you want to move them in the middle somewhere. That can be a little problematic or a little sloppy moving them around. By having them in a section, I can move the sections around. And so you can see once I create that second section, I have a default section. And let's say I call this my intro section. And then I can do that. And let's create a few additional slides. I'm just going to hit Control M. And you'll notice when I created the additional slides that opened the section up. And the reason is it's going to add the slides to the section that I'm in. So since that was at the last slide spot, it's going to add it to here. So if I want to create, I added these new slides starting at slide 9, I would just need to go ahead and create a new section, and we'll just call this new. Or one way that let's retitle it. Another really neat use for this is, let's say I'm working with a team and I'm going to work on one section and somebody else is going to work on the other. So let's say Sarah is working on this section. So I could just call this Sarah's work and then do that, and then she'll know when we're collaborating that these are the slides that she's working on, and I don't need to worry about those slides. Let's go to slide sorter view. You can see how that works. So what's really neat about this is now I can see my slides grouped by section. I can collapse them so I don't have to see all the slides at one time. If I want to move my sections around, that's easy enough to do. As you can see, I can just click and drag, and that's really a neat way to work with your files. So it's actually one of my favorite features in PowerPoint 2010. A lot of things you can do with the sections. It's just a matter of playing around with them and then kind of figuring out how they will fit in your workflow. If we look at some of the other features, you can see you can remove them. You can remove all the sections. You can collapse them. You can expand them all. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's collapse them all. And let's do a expand all so you can see how that works. And then we're going to do a collapse all so you can see they all collapse. Let's go ahead and remove the sections and see what happens. So we're going to remove all sections, and then you'll notice that it just puts them back into that slide sorter view. Now if you change the order of your slides, then you're going to have to go there and manually change them back. But using these new sections is a great way to organize your slides, a great way to collaborate and keep your work separated while you're working on the same PowerPoint files.